Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague. With me, like always, is a man who is also adding DLC into his game to let you fight the Terminator, Noah Bailey.
You need to start running these by me before you just set me up for stuff. I mean, yeah, he'll be fine with this. I just don't know. He's not gonna mind.
Would you really be surprised at this point if you did make a game and the Terminator just didn't show up? Like, come on.
I mean, like, no. That's not it. That's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, today is the Nerd Nook's E3 2019 recap. Yeah, and let me just start by saying, honestly, this might be one of my personal least favorite E3s of all time. It was just kind of bad all around.
Like, I think the word bland comes to mind. Like, yes, it's new content, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's interesting things.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and in like last year and for our E3 predictions, we did it like kind of like third party stuff, and then like the big boys. But I feel this year in particular, there is a certain story that needs to and honestly wants to be told that can only really be told if we go in order of where the conferences were, of like how they were presented. So we're just gonna start with, on that Sunday, Microsoft. And just to make sure this podcast doesn't go for 4 hours, we're not gonna talk about everything, just the stuff that we find interesting.
Okay.
So, Noah, in general, how do you start an E3 press conference? What do you generally feel is the best way to start one of these things?
I don't even know how to answer this question. I mean, just go. I mean,
in my humble opinion, ideally, you would start with like a big, game reveal, or at very least, your president or like your spokesperson coming out on stage and presenting, like, "Hey, welcome to E3. We have a lot of stuff to show you." Start the show. Like, I feel Nintendo always start big and big. Like, every company usually does that. Even Microsoft last year started with Halo Infinite. This year, they started with a game that looks really good, Outer Worlds. Basically, Fallout, but good.
But not. Yeah, right, but not as cringy.
And the trailer itself actually looked really good. The gameplay looked really solid. I really like the whole, like, will you be, good, bad, or a psychopath? Like, that's actually a really cool game concept. But it just felt, especially, like, you start with this game, and I get that this game is being made by a studio that Microsoft just purchased, but since this game was being made well before they bought them, this game's come to everything. It just kind of felt like we started right in the middle of the press conference, and that wasn't really helped by the fact that the very next game they showed was Bleeding Edge, which, again, a game that looked actually kind of cool. It's, again, another game made by a developer who they just purchased last year. Unfortunately, that exact trailer got leaked in its entirety a week before. That's a little disappointing. Like, I'd already seen this trailer before it was even shown.
Not like, oh man, look, new content. It's, oh, look, this thing that got leaked last.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, I'll see that again. That's cool.
Like, I feel at this point, not the same. Like, every publisher should have a contingency plan if that happens. At least have like a different trailer, or like if the CG trailer is leaked, have like some section of gameplay to show. But we've seen Bleeding Edge. Again, it looks cool, but I already, it's not a surprise at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not. it's not like I mean, like I know it's their fault it got leaked, but like yeah, it got leaked, but it's like like I don't know.
Mm. And
yes, you should do a better job preventing that, but like if that happens, it's not like everything you did sucks now.
but at the same time, it kind of felt like there was a theme with this E3 as a whole, but specifically Microsoft's E3, that almost every new thing they showed was already either talked about or leaked weeks in advance. Which we'll get to more of that stuff later. But it just felt a little empty for a lot of these things to be posed as big announcements, yet I already knew what they were.
But they have to hype it up because it is E3, so they have to at least pretend that you should care. Like, even though they probably know at this point, no one's really surprised by anything. But
yeah, and kind of going on that, Minecraft Dungeons, which is basically Diablo but Minecraft, actually looks kind of interesting. Like, Minecraft, I feel, it's been going for 10 years now. I'm honestly surprised they haven't done more spin-off-y stuff with this before. Like, I know they had the Minecraft story mode with Telltale stuff, and they're developing a new mobile game to kind of, like, counter Pokemon Go. But, like, as far as I can remember, hasn't really been many, like, spin-offs of this, of the game that's the highest-selling game of all time. I think it has like 175 million players right now. So, or at least that many people downloaded it.
Okay, well that's okay, but they're not currently playing.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was like, what?
But yeah, Minecraft Dungeons actually looks. I think it looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, well, have you ever? You said it was like Diablo. Have you ever played Diablo? Like,
I haven't, but I've seen like a lot of gameplay of it.
Okay.
And I think Minecraft Dungeons is also going to be like online 4-player dungeon crawl and stuff. So yeah, looks kind of fun. And then 9 minutes into this conference, again going further into my like analysis of it being essentially feeling like we're just dropped right in the middle of this conference. 9 minutes in, Phil Spencer walked out and then pretended like he was just starting this thing. Like, that just felt awkward. You announced 4 or 5 trailers for games we already knew about before he even walks out on the stage and starts talking about the stuff they're going to talk about from now on. Like, this entire conference just felt very clunky. Like, the order in which they show everything in this conference, it just felt so disjointed. Like, they show one high octane action game, and then that weird deer simulator, high octane action game, a weird indie cartoony game. Like, that's not how you flow. That's not how you flow a press conference. It was just so jarring for stuff like that to happen. Did you kind of feel that way with this one?
It just, I mean, yeah, the pacing wasn't too great, but I mean, I don't know. I think in general, like, not to like diss on E3 in general, but like, even in like past E3, I feel like kind of things have been presented not in the best order of how they could be. It's kind of like, oh, here's this, and like the thing, like I understand, like, maybe sometimes saving your best for last, or not, going right away with the biggest thing and everything else will take disappointment. But also, like, you don't want to be like, you're way into this segment, like, okay, now I'm just here for this one game. Now let me hear what, and then you're just like, it's like kind of like going to like a graduation or something, and like your kid has the last name on the list, and you're just like, all right, yeah, that's great. Oh yeah, cool. And like people behind you are losing their minds. You're just like, oh yeah. And then you're finally like, okay, finally, yeah. So I mean, again, I think the ordering of that could be better, but at the same time, I mean, that's why a lot of times I kind of stopped watching stuff live just because I don't really care. I just see it in the moment.
I kind of wish I had watched this live because it was over an hour and a half of.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you didn't need to see all that. Like, you could have just like 45 to an hour of that. You're just like, oh, cool. Like, just like a half a second read on your phone, and then stuff like that.
Yeah, and every press conference was way longer than it needed to be. And for this one in particular, put a pin in that graduation analogy because I've got something to say.
You're bring that back.
Yeah,
That's a good one. Yeah.
So the very next thing after Phil Spencer walked away was not a Microsoft exclusive, not a not even a game developed by a Microsoft studio. Jedi Fallen Order, which I mean, I'm so glad we actually got to see gameplay of that game at the EA Play thing. The game actually looks good, I think. What do you think about this game, Jedi Fallen Order?
I mean, okay. I will say it surprised me positively because like I look at it, it looks interesting, and like there's how do I word this without sounding stupid? Like I don't know, it just look like I'm expecting like okay, where's the like I know we haven't seen a ton yet still, but like I was kind of expecting something in the trailer to kind of just be like, okay, there it is.
There's the Chewbacca cameo we were all expecting. Like,
yeah, you know, but I was like, okay, like nothing about this trailer made me think, all right, man, this looks like butt. Like, you know, everything was kind of chill. Like,
like the combat looked fluid and actually really good.
The gameplay looks like something I'd actually want to try.
Yeah, my main issue with just I don't know, and this is not really an issue with this game in particular. It's kind of an issue with, I guess, with like games where you fight the Empire as a whole. Something in my brain is totally fine with droids fighting clones, totally fine with stormtroopers fighting rebels, but in my head it is just kind of weird for a dude holding a lightsaber to cut down stormtroopers. Like,
it does feel kind of weird, doesn't it?
I get that they're the bad guys, but there's a chance that at this point in the Star Wars story, they're still technically like on the back end of using clones. But it's just a little jarring for them to do that. Like, if your stormtroopers fighting rebels, like there's a bad guy, it's okay. Like you're allowed to do this, just role play as a bad guy. But just cutting out stormtroopers left and right. Which another thing is a little weird about this game in particular is that multiple times during that gameplay segment, your character, Cade, maybe I don't know his name, like cut through a stormtrooper, and he just kind of has a red mark on his belly. It doesn't like fall in half or anything; it just falls over. Just a little, I don't know, a little unrealistic. Like you clearly cut into him or through him, and he just.
And like I'm not expecting like Mortal Kombat guts and like pancreas to fly over there. But at the same time, like you gotta give me a little more than that. But I mean, I don't know. But like back to the idea of you like stormtroopers and legend, like that's how I kind of felt about the Force Unleashed back in the day. But I think since then I've kind of come like because you don't really see it often, like just the Star Wars continuity. But it's something I've kind of. I don't know. I guess for me personally, playing those games, I kind of feel okay with like it doesn't like bother me, but I kind of see what you're getting. It doesn't happen that much.
Yeah. Although it was really cool to see like him basically stop time, pull that stormtrooper up, put him in front of his bullet, and then just get shot by his own bullet. It's like, yes, that is the kind of stuff I want to do as a Jedi. That is awesome.
How has no one thought of that?
Like, we had Kylo Ren stopping the laser in Force Awakens, which, again, like, all of us have wanted to see someone do that. Like, why can't they?
That was sick.
He did it.
Like, bruh, like, my thing, though, is, like, it's not like people weren't, like, I don't know, like, I know, like, these movies aren't made, or, like, games and stuff are made, like, as time goes on, but I'm like, man, like, you gotta tell, like, somebody could have had to think about that. It's like, bro, what if you just use the Force on the bullet? And it's like, we never thought about that. And it's like, wait. Now, what if you use the Force bullet and then Force on the guy who shot you? That would never work.
I think it Dude, try it. Okay.
Oh, that was so cool. We are so going to make money.
Yeah, so like, after seeing that trailer and all that gameplay, I have fairly high hopes for this game, just on a technical level. There's still plenty of time for EA to mess it up, but like from a gameplay perspective, I don't expect the story to be good at all, but the gameplay, I'm in for.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, again, we've only seen a little bit, so like, I'm still, I'm on the fence still. I'm kind of leaning
Mm,
forward, but I'm still
yeah.
on the fence for a good bit
I'm
because.
waiting for that part of the game where like there's this giant army of stormtroopers coming towards you, and you're ready to fight, but the cutscene forces you to get into a turret section.
Mhm.
I'm waiting for that just I want to go cut all of these dudes, but no turret section.
Yeah,
That's gonna happen.
yeah. Army of stormtroopers run at me. Man, I get to just run through 1,000 guys. Oh no, you're gonna be in a speeder. Why? Because it's easier to animate, like or something, or
Yeah.
something like. I don't know, like. Oh,
Like
man.
in
You can,
Battlefront 2, you finally get to play as Luke Skywalker, but you just get to cut some bugs for 20 minutes.
and not do
That's it.
anything relevant.
That's all you do. You go
So
through
I
a
just
level where you
play as the
cut
Empire.
bugs.
It's like the Krusty Krab training video. I was like, can I go against the Empire now? But first, can I go against the Empire now? No. You're not ready for that. You finally unlocked Luke Skywalker. Woo!
I'm ready. I'm ready. No.
First, we got to talk about personal hygiene.
Oh, if I was any good at editing, I would totally make that spoof.
Oh, I love SpongeBob so much.
Oh yeah. Sticking with Star Wars, probably my most hyped announcement of all of E3 that wasn't Nintendo related. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. It's not just a port of all the previous Lego games. It's brand new Lego games based on all 9 movies.
Which I was very surprised because because like Lego Star Wars is that game that if you're a Star Wars fan, you've at least picked up Lego Star
Yeah.
Wars, which you should have. Because like I never liked Legos personally, I never grew up with them,
Mm.
but even I was like Lego Star Wars is super down. Like
Yeah.
the stuff's amazing. So like I mean I literally bought a Lego Star Wars for Wii just because I had my Wii up here and I was like sure why not? It was like $2 and I'm
Yeah.
like having a great time. So like.
Uh-huh.
So, like it's man, so yeah, I'm excited they're bringing this back, and it's like I don't know, I'm kind of excited to dive back in honestly and see what kind of new content we're working with because like this could be amazing.
Yeah. And it's always a little weird to me that there was never a trailer. Sorry, there was never a Lego Star Wars game for Episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
Probably something with EA licensing just didn't let it happen because, of course, there was one for Episode 7,
Yeah,
not for Rogue One, but not for 8 either. So
yeah, or like so I think yeah, 7's the last one that's been made, right?
yeah, so it just makes sense instead of randomly doing Episode 9 Lego, just doing them all. Like this is the complete package. Like cool, I'm down for it.
Like yeah, I'm in. Like yes, like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good because like it adds to things, and like you have a ton of new characters that people are gonna want, and they probably will implement characters from like Rogue One and stuff
Yeah.
like that to throw in.
Yeah, and you've
And,
had
like-
plenty of time, to ruminate on the prequels. So there's plenty of new jokes you can tell based on
yeah.
those. And, yeah.
Yeah, this could really incorporate everything.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like even like Clone Wars stuff, who knows? Like 'cause they made Clone Wars Lego Star Wars, right? Is that a
Probably.
thing?
I would
I
imagine
want to
so.
say that's. I feel like I've seen that before, so I think so.
Like Clone Wars, like the show.
Like
The game?
yeah, like the show, like Ahsoka and everything.
Mm.
Like I'm pretty sure I've seen that. Wait, yeah, Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. Yeah,
Okay.
they even have like a certain. I think yeah. So yeah, March 2011. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, so they could. I mean, this could potentially have everything.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Sticking with Legos, there was not a new Forza game announced this year. However, it was announced that Forza Horizon 4 is getting a Lego movie crossover. And they had They had a McLaren, which is an awesome car, made of Legos out on the stage. Sure.
Wonder how
Why
long that
not?
took to make. I mean, like, did I ask for this? No. Am I mad that they're making it? Not yet.
No.
I don't think so. Like, no, but like a question. No.
Yeah.
Like, hey, should I have made this? No, maybe. I don't really know. I mean, it could be cool.
Yeah.
It could also not be cool.
It could also not be.
Well, and so and I know that's everything, but there's wait, like it could potentially be great, but there's also that it could also not be great.
Yeah.
So
and especially since this is being put into the Forza Horizon line, where where they can experiment around with more stuff. Where if it was just like Forza 8 but with Legos, that would be a little weird. And probably they're just holding off a new Forza game when the Xbox, whatever they're gonna call it, is launching. So it would be a little weird for them to have like Forza 8 and then Forza Horizon 5 for next gen. That would be so. I understand why they just focus on the expansion for this year.
Yeah, it's what is it? Xbox Scarlet, I think it's called?
They're calling it Project Scarlet, yeah.
Or Project Scarlet. Okay. Okay. So it's gonna be the same thing but in red, like you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm imagining, but like
Scarlet with two T's. Well,
yeah, I had no idea how this was gonna work. Like, but sure.
Before we get into new console stuff, they had a new trailer for Battletoads, which the art style is weird, but like it kind of fits, I think. I don't know. Well, they looked gross, but I think that's what they're going for.
I mean, they are toads.
Yeah.
I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean,
But just the fact that there's a new Battletoads game shows that A, Rare is not dead, and B, that they're allowed to make, their old IPs just on new hardware. So
it can exist.
that's cool. I'm fine with it.
Sure. Again, sure.
Again, I wish the art
But,
style
it
was
looks-
a little more like.
It just looks kind of like I'm running through it
Yeah.
again, but it just looks. I don't know. Like I don't really know what to say. I don't really know. Like it's okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I got like a TMNT vibe from it.
Yeah,
now.
Rise of the TMNT.
Yeah.
Which
That's
apparently
kinda-
the
I was
show
like-
is actually pretty good. Just the art style, I just cannot. It hurts my eyes to watch it. I just can't deal with it.
It started out pretty good, and then it got kind of weird. All right, wait, is that the newest one? Like newest one, or
The newest one. Yeah, like one with like the
That-
weird art style.
Yeah.
Rise of the TMNT, yeah.
that one looks. Yeah, that doesn't look great for me. Like I don't like. I don't know. Like I mean, I don't
Like
know.
there's a lot of effort put into each individual like character animation, but just the fact that they look, I just still cannot get behind their art design, the overall look of the entire show. It's just not for me. That's fine. Same with that game. I'm sure Battletoads fans are excited. It's just not, art style is just not for me. That's fine.
Not a huge. Yeah, I mean, no, and I'm sure like somebody because like it takes me like when art styles are new. Or like just something I don't see very often. It takes me a little to get used to it, but when I warm up to it, it's fine because there's a lot of like shows and like cartoon stuff, and even like Into the Spider-Verse. Like I didn't immediately like it; I had to warm up to it, but now I kind of like it.
Yeah. So, in our prediction video, we predicted that there would be at least one unexpected Japanese game announced. There were actually four talked about. Dragon Ball Project Z, Kakarot.
Sure.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like. It looks a lot like
Xenoverse.
other like games. Kind of like, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like, it looks like that kind of. Which that game, like I didn't like it personally, but other people I know like that game. So I mean.
I just can't help but feel like every single Dragon Ball game from the beginning of the series till the end of time will just be you get to play through the story of Dragon Ball Z. This time with a twist
Yeah.
What's the twist this time? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
RPG elements this time. Like,
Yeah,
what does that mean? Like, what?
Which is weird because one, RPGs are kind of like games are kind of going away from RPGs, like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So like, but also I don't know, man. Like I just want them to make them like the PS2, like Dragon Ball Z, like Budokai Tenkaichi. Like they need to make those games, just update them because that game is amazing. You can't find that game for less than like $75.
Yeah.
Like that game is amazing, and I used to have it, and now I don't.
I think I actually somehow acquired Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I owned a PlayStation for a month from a cousin who gave it to me. Then it broke, and he gave me all his PS2 games. I think I had that. I think I had Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Never actually got around to playing it before it broke, but
that was a good one. Tenkaichi 3 though, that game is legendary. Like my thing is, it's just just make a fighting game with Dragon Ball Z. And I know like Fighter Z or Fighters or whatever came out.
I say Fighter Z, but it's technically Fighters, but that's stupid.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But it's a fine game. Like I'm sure like that game's great. That's a fine game, but it's not. It feels like I know you can do. It feels limited. It's because you can't in the old Budokai Tenkaichi 3, you can fly around, you can do all it feels like you're actually playing as someone in Dragon Ball Z, and it's has good out. And I like the idea of adventure mode and explore and all this stuff. But I'm like, what? Like you said, we've already done this many times, and
it's cool this time because you can play as Goku. It's okay.
First of all, what Dragon Ball game have you never played as Goku at least a little bit? He's the main character, and you made your own character in Xenoverse. Yeah, I know, but
you're still basically Goku.
Yeah, pretty much. Who didn't play as you could play as other races, but pretty much everyone was I want to be a Saiyan just so I can be a Super Saiyan. And I get that, but I don't know, man. It doesn't. It just seems like another bland Dragon Ball game that I'm not going to play because I don't really care. And, that's okay because that happens.
Yeah, that happens. Next, Tales of Arise. The Tales of franchise has been going on, I think, since the GameCube PS2 era. Not a little before that.
Early 2000s or late. I think I heard late 90s.
Okay.
That's what I heard from a source. So I don't know if that's legit. That's just what someone told me.
So it's been around for over 20 years. Or 20-ish years. So a new one. Cool.
Sure.
I never played any of them, but I know a lot of people that love those games. So
it has a fan base.
Yeah.
So am I in that fan base? No. But someone is. Someone was doing backflips. It was not me. Someone.
It's still cool to see that type of game announced in an Xbox conference.
Yeah, and somebody wins.
Something else that was just crazy that was announced during this conference. Phantasy Star Online 2. That game has been locked in Japan, I think, for 8 years, if not more than that.
Has it been really that long?
It has been ported to almost literally everything in Japan.
It's always like that.
Why?
I don't know.
It's maybe this will be the time it comes to the West. No. Maybe this. No. Nope. And then Phil Spencer's yep, we're bringing it. What up? It's thanks.
It was when you finally stop giving up hope and just accept it. Oh yeah, remember that game you won? Yeah, we got it. What?
It's here?
Really?
You're not teasing me. No, it's coming.
He looks around for cameras. What? For real? Yeah. We're doing this? Okay, sure.
And I think he said it'll be on Xbox first, but it'll eventually come to everything. So, good job. Phil Spencer made that happen. So, kudos.
And everything, or just other hijacks?
Everything it's been on in Japan, I think.
Okay.
First to PC and Xbox, and I think it's coming to PS4. I think Switch has a cloud version. It's kind of confusing, but it's also there.
Yeah. Switch is cool.
Yeah.
Really, I had no idea. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Probably the game that just made me feel the most bland while watching the trailer, which a game like this should not do that. Elder Ring, the game that is the FromSoft and George R. R. Martin crossover. That trailer, it was just a CG trailer of like people on horses. Like I don't remember all that happened in that trailer, but like the way it started out with with Miyazaki and pause for dramatic effect. George R. R. Martin present like we already knew this. We already knew this game. Like George R. R. Martin talked about this game 2 weeks ago.
They had to bring back the hype. Like, no, it's just,
like they played it up like it was this huge epic announcement, and if
never
George R. R.
saw
Martin
this
himself
coming. You told me this.
he told us
This
himself.
was common knowledge. This was understood. We talked about it.
And
You read it by me.
and it wasn't even like they're making this game. Here is what the story or here's what the gameplay might be that's different from Dark Souls or Sekiro or whatever else. It was just a CG trailer that just kind of teased you as to what might happen in the game. It's like we already knew literally everything going in, and they showed nothing we didn't already knew. We knew like that. The only thing we didn't know was the story and the gameplay, and we didn't get either of those things in the CG trailer. That's weird. I don't know. That's just kind of a theme with this entire E3 as a whole. Like, it's just CG trailers that don't really show us anything about the game itself, and that's really disappointing, honestly.
And I mean, that's kind of what, yeah, like you said, like E3's kind of just become that. It's like, oh, look at this. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
What is it?
It's like, all right. But no, but watch. I'm watching. But no, but, oh, and they're like, oh, and they're just like,
Okay.
and I don't know, I'm like, is that us just like getting like used to like games, or them just not putting out? Go like, no, because then I think of other things. I react. I'm like, no, I still get hype about stuff. So no, it's not.
Yeah, there was still some stuff from E3 I got pretty hyped for, but like.
But it's like a lot of it is like, is E3 getting boring? Am I getting old? And then something else, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. And Lego Star Wars. Oh shit, yeah, I'm not getting old.
Like I mean there's something I'll talk about next that like I legitimately like freaked out over just by giddy, not like fanboyism, but just giddy like, oh wow, that's actually happening. But like I watched a live reaction of people who are like a group of people who are huge from software, Dark Souls, like Soulsborne, everything. They saw like the announcement trailer was starting. It's like, oh, what's this? From Miyazaki and George R. Oh, we know what this is. Okay. And then they just didn't have any reaction to it after that. Like, that, you did that to yourself, Germ. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, there was still some hype about it, but it's not the same when it's not like in the moment you like lose, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, is hype really gonna? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. One game that everyone in the games media is freaking out over that I just don't understand. Cyberpunk 2077. Like, I just personally, from all the trailers I've seen, I just don't really get it. I just don't really see.
What do you not get? Like,
I don't really see what makes this game different than other open world games, other cyberpunk stories. Like, though they have robotic enhancements, there are AI living among them, drug deals that are happening. Like, it just, these are pretty cliched stuff in cyberpunk lore. Like, I just don't really.
But it's got Keanu Reeves.
It does have Keanu Reeves. I did not care at all about this presentation until like the guy died, and then Keanu Reeves took his glasses off, and I was like, holy crap! And then he was on stage and just, I was laughing that entire time.
That's all you need. Like, I mean, yes, it looks kind of
And the
generic.
crowd, no other human being on this planet could have that kind of reaction from the crowd.
It's amazing.
And like after that entire presentation, I was like, I still don't care about this game, but I do like Keanu Reeves.
Like, that alone was enough to be like, okay, that was pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't care, like if the purpose is to get people fired up, like it worked. It was hilarious. And like, yeah, like you said, the game does seem kind of generic. There are some elements that do look somewhat interesting, but at the same time, it's like, dude, like, come on, you got to give props for that. Like, that was pretty cool. Freaking John Wick, man. Like,
Like he is on top of the world right now. Like John
Right.
Wick, he's in Toy Story 4. He had a cameo in the Netflix movie, Always Be My Maybe, which was just kind of hilarious. And then this is just, he's on a roll, man.
yeah, I mean, when they put you in a video game, you know things are getting serious.
And I appreciate him being honest, where he was like, a year ago, CD Projekt Red approached me to be in this game. Now, I didn't really know much about, about games, but I liked the story. Like, I liked how he was honest about that. Like, most celebrities who get into nerd movies and nerd culture and stuff like this,
They're
they
like, oh yeah, I do all the content and all
clearly
this. I've been
faking it,
doing
like,
this. Since I was yeah.
stop it. Stop.
Yeah, which is like, because it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Like, if you were that into this, you thought you were, you would have like wept with joy if they asked you to do this.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Although I do have a pretty big issue with like the trailer before the Keanu Reeves part. It was just another CG trailer of story stuff that probably isn't even going to be in the game. It was just
Not actual gameplay.
But we come to E3 to see games.
I
not
mean,
short movies. Like,
I mean, but it's movies about games.
I don't. I just.
Kind
And then
of?
like when Keanu Reeves, presented the game, like the release date trailer, there was like 30 seconds of stuff that's probably gameplay, but like just a guy on a motorcycle, a guy shooting a gun, a guy walking around. Like, it's just, I still don't get a sense of what this game is and what sets it apart from other open world and other cyberpunk media. It just, I don't get it. But hey, many people do, and I'm happy for them. It's just not. I just don't
Not
understand.
personally. Yeah, no, and again, like, yeah, me neither. I'm not super into these games. I don't know. Like, there aren't, I mean, really, there are, like, no games for E3 that I was personally like, yes, this is happening. But, like, again, I know there's many other gamers out there, because, like, last year was a big year for me. So, like, there's, like, there's some years you're really into, some years you're not. So it's all good. So, like, this was kind of a year for other people. I got the games I asked for. Some I love, some not as much. But
something I kind of forgot to mention, like at the beginning, is that part of this story that I feel is going to be told throughout us breaking out these conferences is that we need to remember that Sony was not there. This was Microsoft. This was Nintendo. This was like every third party. Like, this was their moment.
They're trying to knock them out of the water. Yeah.
And I know we haven't like hit on Microsoft like 3 big games yet, but like even if we did, they just didn't do anything good this entire conference. It just kind of happened, and I didn't feel anything afterwards. I almost felt kind of mad after that conference. Honestly, I was live. I'm like, I'm
not getting that hour back. Like,
that,
I mean,
their conference
like,
last year was better, which is not what you want from a year when you're hoping to beat Sony and a year that Sony doesn't even show up. Like, they still won somehow.
Right.
Like, how does that happen?
I mean, they win. They just didn't lose that bad. Like, it wasn't bad. It's like, like if you just like, I'll just take a nap and then like see how much they can do while I'm done. It's like, oh, I'm actually not that far behind.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, yeah.
It's like the tortoise and the hare, but like you wake up and the tortoise isn't even like there yet. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, the tortoise is like 2 steps ahead. You're like, oh, cool. Like, I can still win this. I mean, takes another nap. Like, I don't know, but
yeah, and
I mean, I get.
Yeah. Nothing showcased Microsoft is dropping the ball more than Gears 5.
Yeah.
Let me just break down all the stuff that happened for this weird presentation for Gears 5. It started with the face of the main female protagonist, who's the daughter of the main guy played by, what is his name? Crap. Jake from
Don't even know.
John DiMaggio, played by John DiMaggio, is her face, and then it's like she has like an evil looking face and a good looking face, and then those faces kind of morph together, and then she looks very evil, and then it's like her dad is here and her dad's also here, and then like all these like weird visions are all around her, and like maybe that's supposed to represent that like she could be evil or she could be good. She's like trying to deal with her dad's legacy or whatever, but that didn't mean anything since you didn't actually present a trailer for the story or any gameplay or anything after that. It was just, oh, here's something cool that might mean something. We're not going to tell you what it means, but it might mean something. So that's how they started this presentation. With a weird trailer that has left me confused. Then, the Gears 5 guy walked out onto the stage, and I think there was maybe another like short CG trailer that like just kind of broke down very basically like what this very basically what the story is. I don't even remember if this even happened. I might have dreamt it. And then he came back to the stage, and then he was like, "Now let me show you the multiplayer." And then like the stage like was filled with all this fog, and then the camera like did this weird pan around to like beneath the stage and then around, and then I didn't even know where it was at this point, and then it was like a completely different screen. Maybe he was, I don't know where it was just so disjointed and confusing. And then he showed a trailer, a CG trailer set to one of my least favorite songs of all time, the Little John cover remix thing of Crazy Train. Have you heard that crap? It is always infuriating how bad that song is.
No.
So like this trailer starts and like, you know, 3 Gears people are fighting aliens and stuff. And like I hear like the opening like guitar riff from Crazy Train, like, okay, Crazy Train's here, that's cool. And then keeps going like, oh wait, this isn't quite crazy. No, crap, it's that song.
It's the. I love how much like the music choice in trailers can like make or break how you feel about something.
And this trailer was so bad because they presented it like they're showing you how the horde mode is going to work in this game. And then it's just 3 people doing stuff that you maybe can do during gameplay. Like they were like throwing out like electric bombs and doing certain things that like you can maybe do, but like we don't actually see gameplay of it, so we don't know really what's different or new about it. And then the most infuriating thing maybe in E3 history I've ever seen, at least for me personally. After that trailer, the dude presenting the Gears is standing behind 4 computers with people sitting in front of them, and he says, if you want to go see gameplay of Gears 5's Horde mode, we have these 4 WWE superstars playing it right now over on Mixer. You're asking your audience to go to a different stream halfway through your conference to see random wrestlers play a game? What? You haven't even showed off Halo or your new Xbox yet. You're expecting people to leave? No, no.
Yeah, not a great plan.
Oh my gosh, that I don't even
No,
like
You're
Gears.
supposed to wait till someone else starts and then you
Yeah,
tell them to go see it.
I don't even like Gears, and that just made me mad.
And you feel bad for that. It's just like,
Like people who like Gears only like Gears and nothing else. So you don't even care about Halo or anything else. Just go over to Mixer now. Stop trying to make Mixer a thing. It's not a thing. It's basically sad Twitch. Like it's not.
they're trying. Okay, leave it alone. But Twitch has already said you
But whatever.
fine. It's
Gears
fine.
5 is
It's
also
okay.
having a mode where you can fight the Terminator because every game now has to have a mode where you fight the Terminator.
Why not? Because the Terminator. Sure.
Yes.
I don't know.
But when
Like, you don't get points for it, but I mean, it's still, I don't know.
when the trailer
Something.
first started and I saw that bed of skulls, I was thinking, oh, this looks very similar to the original trailer for Doom Eternal. Maybe crossover with Doom Guy. That would be awesome. No, the Terminator. Like, okay,
You expect too much.
I do. You're right.
How dare you? Creativity? That is not the attitude we have in the studio. Stop it.
And then, like, towards the end of the conference, they had a random trailer for a new Elite Xbox controller, which now, actually, oh my gosh, what has it been? 18 years later, 18 years after the Xbox brand started, they're finally using internal batteries. The Xbox One controller didn't have internal. You have to still use AA batteries unless you buy this $150 controller.
How much is this controller?
The Elite controllers are $150.
No.
No.
You can almost get a console for that.
I could buy two Nintendo 2DSs with Super Mario Bros. Land. Sorry, with New Super Mario Bros. 2 or A Link Between Worlds. Buy both of those for about that much. That for one controller, I could buy 2 game systems. Like what?
Like a controller?
Yeah.
No. A controller better beat the game for me. Like, there's no way I'm saying
Oh,
that.
but it's cool because you can have different settings for your controller for different games. Like, whatever. Like, I'm not paying $150 for this thing. That's stupid. But hopefully, since it does have internal battery, hopefully that means for the next Xbox, their controller will come standard with internal battery. Please.
Mm-hmm. $150.
Speaking of their next Xbox,
You expect people to buy
oh, go.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. I don't even want to
Okay.
start because then I'll get mad.
Speaking of their next Xbox, Project Scarlet has actually also been heavily rumored and leaked for months now. That name has been thrown around, I think, since either January or February of this year. Even like Scarlet with 2 T's, like they didn't even change that much. And essentially, it was another situation of we already knew what it was going to be going in, and then they just told us all the stuff we already knew. Like they told us it's going to be 4 times stronger than the Xbox One X. It's going to come out next winter. It's going to have 120 frames per second. It's going to, cloud streaming and all this cool next gen words and phraseology and just gamer talk that doesn't really mean anything to me, but like cool, whatever. And then like they had this like huge epic reveal of the
I don't know
title,
it's gonna push the.
Project Scarlet. It's like, okay, we knew that.
Like, what did I learn? That
Nothing.
my theories were not my theories, but that theories were correct. Like, it just confirmed what we already know. It didn't
Yeah.
teach us anything.
We didn't
I
even get
mean,
to see the
again, is that really
controller.
their fault that stuff gets leaked? Like,
Yeah, we didn't even get to see the controller or the
they probably.
console itself or any games. Like, Sony isn't here. You can
Well,
do
they're still working.
whatever you want. This was your time to announce this thing and do it big. And they just kind of
You
dropped the
did.
ball. It's weird.
I mean, they like yes, you announce a new console, but I think they were expecting more from that. I don't know.
I don't know. It I can't explain like what they could have done. Maybe okay. There's a very high possibility that the games aren't ready yet. It's still over a year away. There's even a high possibility that the controller or the console itself aren't fully rendered yet. Like they're not sure what they're going to look like yet. That's fine.
Mhm.
But just saying a whole lot of techno babble that makes it sound impressive without actually showing what that means doesn't mean anything for me. So it's they could have done
That's
a lot
fair.
better with that reveal.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's not like, and that's not a knock on you for not knowing, because like, yeah, frame rates and stuff is cool, but that doesn't, like, what else are you getting for me? There's got to be another feature, because yeah, you can improve
It can
graphics,
potentially run
that's
8K,
implied,
which our eyes already can't really discern between 1080p and 4K as it is, so we're not
right?
really sure what
See
8K is
that?
going to be.
See, and that's one of the things I'm getting. I'm like, okay, at what like I get the difference between like when HD came out, you get the difference, all
Yeah,
that stuff. But like it's getting to the point now where like, oh, it's this many frames. I'm like, okay, like you could put two right next to me, and I'm just like, I don't see the difference.
yeah,
Like
like real life runs at 24 frames per second. So a game running at 60 doesn't like.
real life. He said this doesn't even happen in the real world. Why are we so?
Like that's why it
Does
looks
that mean your
weird whenever
vision's
soap
gonna get?
operas are shot in 60 frames per second. It looks weird how they're moving because that's not how people
Mm-hmm.
move.
I never thought about that. But yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense. Oh, but okay, but does that mean that's gonna make our vision worse
I don't know.
somehow? Like I don't know, like because if you're used to things being like sped up and moved differently, then you go like out to like Walmart and you're like I don't know,
It's
maybe I'm
everything
just
moving
saying
in
dumb
slow
stuff.
motion. It's like what is
Yeah, it's like yeah. You just move so quickly. You're just like why is everything keep
happening?
like blinking
uh,
like Zootopia sloth like
yeah,
I don't even know what's going on.
I don't know.
But
But regardless, the one game they did showcase was Halo Infinite.
boom boom.
And going back to your graduation analogy, people waited an hour and a half to see gameplay of Halo Infinite. What did we get?
You don't even play Halo. Why are you mad?
I still like to see gameplay of things. Like I played a little bit of Halo here and there.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, boy.
But it's not just that we got a CG trailer. It's not just that it's the second CG trailer of a game that had a CG trailer for its announcement last year. It's
Mm.
that they announced that Halo Infinite is going to launch with the Xbox Scarlet, which is awesome. We all we're expecting that, but it's cool that it was confirmed. However, if this was running on the Scarlet, this was the least impressive tech demo I've ever seen. It was just this dude on a spaceship, and Master Chief just kind of looked like Master Chief. He didn't look, that much better than Halo
Yeah,
5 Master
standard.
Chief. There was no environments to explore in this trailer. There was no they weren't on the Halo ring itself, jumping around in space, doing cool stuff. It was just on a ship in a very contained environment. And Master Chief walked out, saw space. It was space. That's fine. And then it ended with a weird Cortana tease, which we don't want to. If we don't want, we want to see we want to see Master Chief shoot stuff. That's all we want. And the entire time, it legitimately felt like this was all just a weird tease for him to be in Smash. It didn't feel like it was that important. Like this is the Xbox Scarlet's reveal thing. It felt like this is just a trailer, a very long, convoluted way to say Master Chief in the Smash. Like that's what it felt like, but it wasn't. It wasn't in Smash. Unfortunately, it would have been cool, but
I mean, you think they would do that? You think they would do that?
it's possible. I don't know.
Like I know it's not, but like that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, you got like at this point we've had play with like cloud and stuff.
Yeah.
So anything's possible, but
But just they could have done so. Halo should have been the game to showcase what the Xbox Scarlet can do.
yeah, like how powerful. Like okay, you sent all these frames, but okay, let me see it. Let me see how awesome this is gonna look. And like I know they might still be working on it and stuff.
After that little bitch, I have Master Chief like jump out or like fly into like a huge horde of like ships coming at you and just show how space combat can look in this in this new engine, or like have him like jump down on land with like lush grass, waterfalls, like just some kind of new physics engine. Like we want to see new stuff, but we just saw space and a ship. That was not how you end this press conference. That was just it started weird, it ended boring, which is not what you want from Halo.
Yeah.
Just this whole conference was just
I'm like
bland. Bland is a good word for it.
Like it. Yeah, that's what like that was my initial take. Like the taste I got up with Lara, I'm just like I don't want to say things were bad because nothing was. I was just like this is bad, but I was like,
it's a 6 out of 10. I'm not gonna remember you. I wish you were either worse or better. You're just kind of there, like.
I feel like a 5. Like I wasn't. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, this ideally would have been the year for Microsoft to really knock it out of the park with just everything they had, and they just didn't escalate to anything. It was disappointing.